Good evening. Welcome to RSBN Live. I'm Matthew Alvarez as it is now 4:30 Eastern Time on this Saturday, December 6th. Thanks so much for watching RSBN on the weekend right now, of course. Now at 5 o'clock today, the president will participate in a Kennedy Center Honors Medal presentation in the Oval Office. So will we see a number of the honorees in the Oval Office? I believe we will. We'll get to some of those people that will be a part of this event over the next 24 to 48 hours, as the ceremony is tomorrow. And as for the next few days, on Tuesday, the president is preparing to travel to Pennsylvania as part of a series of stops to highlight his economic agenda. So you can catch all of that coverage right here on Right Side. Of course, today's coverage and pretty much anytime there's breaking news or coverage Monday through Friday, obviously you can count on Right Side Broadcasting Network. And on the weekends, if you're looking for an RSBN fix of sorts, all you have to do is go to Truth Social, go to X, go to our Rumble page, YouTube page, just download the app, go to the website. Plenty of articles getting posted, and there's replays of videos if you missed any of them throughout the whole week, because there's a lot going on, as you guys know, and we're covering as much as we can, as fast as we can. It's a 24/7 news cycle, but definitely focused on the things that we, the people, desire for our country moving forward, as it is, again, Saturday, December 6th. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have the America First Policy Institute. So one of the staffers there, Carla Sands, a VP, also a former ambassador to Denmark under President Trump. She'll join us. Meantime, tonight, the Kennedy Center Honors Dinner will preview the 48th Kennedy Center Honors Ceremony. Now, that's going to be tomorrow night. That'll celebrate honorees including Sylvester Stallone, Michael Crawford, Gloria Gaynor, Kiss, and George Strait for their lifetime contributions to American culture through the performing arts. So that event's tomorrow night, but tonight there's a dinner, and in just a few minutes at the Oval Office, we'll see a presentation as well. So will some of those superstars be in attendance? We'll see. The ceremony, we're told, tomorrow is actually hosted by President Trump. So again, tonight's the dinner, tomorrow is the ceremony, and in a few minutes we'll go to the Oval Office, kind of to kick off this Kennedy Center Honors weekend of sorts. And so glad you're with us here live or on replay watching. Thanks so much for doing so. We'll get to our live interview in just a minute. Meantime, President Trump took center stage at the 2026 FIFA World Cup draw yesterday. Let's take a look at that video.
President Trump, up to you. Don't forget to mingle, to mix.
I think I know what this is going to be now.
Everything.
But let's see.
Are you sure? Are you sure this is the ball? You can still change it if you want.
Does he know something that I don't know? Let's give it a shot, John.
Let's give it a shot. Let's give it a shot. I agree. Okay.
This is shocking.
United States of America. Excellent. Group D1. Can I ask all the three of you to lift like this on your chest, in front of your chest like this? Yeah, the name of the country. We'll give a nice photo. Excellent.
All right, so some of you guys were able to see that yesterday right here on Right Side, or at least on social media out there, as we know that FIFA, the World Cup, is here next year. A lot of things going on next year. I mean, on the serious talking point, of course, is the midterms. We have to win those. Outside of that, the 250th birthday of this great United States of America. It's going to be exciting times. Hopefully, our country continues to go in that direction of just winning, winning, winning. There's a lot to get done, and it is the first year of President Trump's second term is slowly winding down, entering 2026, and that is going to be a very important year in our country. That's just how it looks as it's going to shape out. And let's go to Carla Sands right now with the America First Policy Institute to talk about that and other accomplishments that she's seen over the past year. And also we'll talk about some of these honorees as well. So Carla, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's great to be with you, Matthew. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. All right, let's talk about it. So let's go back to January 20th of 2025. We are just off a big win against Harris, a landslide victory. and we have a long list of promises to be fulfilled. And right away, the president starts signing executive orders, and then the borders closed, and so many things happen. So can you run us through some of the accomplishments that you've seen over the past year?
Yeah, it's pretty extraordinary, Matthew. Probably the best first year in the history of our country, bar none. And the reason I think is because we were in the wilderness for 4 years, literally being able to plan, right? To have an administration that was strong and ready on day one with the executive orders and all the policy that was being written that wasn't able to be fulfilled in the first Trump administration because of Russia collusion hoax and the impeachments. So what we have today is a country that's getting stronger, getting more prosperous, and we should begin to feel it by the beginning of next year. By early next year, early 2026, I think there will be bigger refund checks coming for all of your viewers because President Trump and the Republican-controlled House passed the Big Beautiful Bill. And that Big Beautiful Bill had the biggest historic tax cuts that have ever been passed, and a lot of good things coming for working people, entrepreneurs, the ability to make money quicker and be able to deduct expenses quicker. And so it's really an extraordinary time. And then he's making us more secure around the world. He's also working to secure our elections. It's a really, I'm excited just to see what comes next because he and his team are moving so fast and having so many successes.
And on top of that, the 2026 midterms, to your point, one of the major sticking points, the high priorities of we the people we're seeing is that securing of the election. So look forward to seeing some development there. We know that President Trump has been talking about it on Truth Social and also out there in various events. Speaking of various events, on Tuesday in Pennsylvania, your home state, my state that I'm from originally. So he'll be in the Pocono Mountains there, Mount Pocono, to discuss with the people there his economic agenda and an update with that. So great to see that in Pennsylvania, of course, a state where, a huge swing state that went to President Trump in the past election.
That's right. And the Republicans are gaining more and more Republican registered voters in the state. In fact, when I got back from Denmark, I think we were down almost 2 million more registered Democrats than Republicans. But now I think it's under 200,000 more registered Democrats to Republicans. So it's a really exciting trend. Pennsylvania is truly a swing state. It's a tough state. But certainly they love the America First policies, the fact that President Trump is working so hard to reindustrialize our old Rust Belt. All those old Rust Belt states, he's bringing companies and manufacturing back with opportunity zones and big investments from the federal government and the private sector, as well as foreign investments. So that is also, Matthew, a really great progress for so many Americans who would like to see their towns flourish again.
Exactly. I mean, all of the small businesses that are out there, it was just Small Business Saturday just a couple of weeks ago. And, you think about all of these boutique restaurants or shops or just mom and pop shops, and that is the backbone of our economy. It's a huge percentage of the GDP. And a shout out to those that are business owners out there. I know it's a lot of work because I've worked at a number of small businesses, over the years. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to work for a small business, and it's a lot of work to run a small business, whether it's one person and it's an owner operator or 200 employees. It still is, I think, a 24/7 job to own a small business with a lot of, capital invested and blood, sweat, and tears, if you will. But I've just come from the Kennedy Center Honors Lunch with the honorees. And that was a really exciting time to be with so many American heroes.
Now, are these honorees going to be at the Oval Office? Obviously, that's what we're covering here at 5 o'clock with the president. Do you know if that's what we're going to see? Are we going to see, Rocky Balboa in there?
Yeah, I believe that the honorees will receive their honors from President Trump in the White House, I believe today.
Okay.
And then the Kennedy honors are tomorrow night. But I believe that is a really intimate celebration. And then I think that there's a State Department dinner tonight for the honorees and some of the elected officials and board members. I believe President Trump will be there, but I haven't confirmed that. And then tomorrow night are the Kennedy Center honors, which are also a really awesome American, I would say American treasure, because we honor our performing artists at that event.
Yeah, thank God for them, especially those that are conservative. It's always good to add that in there. But I mean, if they're not conservative and they just, like a Dolly Parton, let's be real, she doesn't go right, left, or whatever. She just performs. And I think that's a pretty smart way to do things, no?
I think if you're an artist, you don't want to lose half of your audience. Why not just do your craft and not try to be a foreign policy or political pundit? I also have to say, I saw in the first Trump administration the disrespect shown the commander-in-chief in the Kennedy Center when he walked in, and there were boos from the audience and sharp speeches from the stage. There's no more of that. It is now a nonpartisan Kennedy Center, as it should be, with honors going to our commander-in-chief. And our president there, Rick Grinnell, he has raised more money. I think it's a third more this year than they raised last year. And this is only his first year. And he's never been running any kind of, arts center. So this is unbelievable that he and his team have been able to bring in so much money to support the Kennedy Center programs, but also they need to refurbish that wonderful old building from the mid-20th century.
Exactly. And I understand you'll be at the ceremony tomorrow. Is that correct?
I do plan to be there. I'm excited to participate. I used to participate every year, and so I'm thrilled to get back involved in the arts.
Let's talk about some of the honorees quickly. I know there's a number of very serious things going on in our world, but it's a Saturday. We're covering this event. Of course, this is the Kennedy Center Honors ceremony coming up. Let's talk about first Sylvester Stallone. Can you tell me any movies that you like from Sylvester Stallone? Any of your favorites
I'm
out
from
there?
Pennsylvania, Matthew. Rocky, of course, Rocky. What a movie. And actually, Sylvester Stallone and his wife, their kids went to school with my daughter, so I knew them socially as well back in the day. But he's a terrific guy, a terrific family man, an American legend. He's the only icon that I did not see at the honoree lunch today was Sylvester Stallone. Maybe he was having a different kind of private lunch.
And then I'm sure we'll see him here live at the Oval Office. That's why we're here live covering this on this Saturday. But looking forward to possibly seeing Rocky there. I mean, have you ever in Philadelphia run up the steps to the statue? Because I did it for the first time maybe a month ago.
I have. It's at the Philadelphia Art Museum, I believe. And I have run up those stairs and heard the music playing in my ears.
Exactly. And then looking at the streets of Philadelphia and seeing that vantage point that you'd always see in the movies of the city and of Rocky standing there. And then if you like watching Creed, I like Creed as well, with Michael B. Johnson as the actor. So great movie and a great franchise. One of my favorites. Do you have a favorite Rocky out of the Rockies?
I love Rocky 1.
Really?
Adrian, what a classic.
Very cool. All right, my favorite is Rocky 4. The fact that he takes down Ivan Drago, these are great flicks there.
That was great. But I think, I'm older than you. And so I remember from my youth, and I was very young watching that first Rocky movie, and it was so bloody, so exciting, and such a thrilling time to see like someone who, against all odds, because they set their mind to it and really purposed to win and worked hard to achieve it, and he did.
And let's talk about that some more. I mean, why not? Let's go there. Eye of the Tiger, one of the most famous songs that are in the country, around the world in some ways. And you hear that song, and you have to go and work out when you hear that song, or you have to, do something. But
yes,
that's what we have to have as we the people in this country, the eye of the tiger. We're not sheeple. We don't just follow because they say so, right? We have to keep praying hard, working hard, voting hard, get the job done, and not give up, right?
Right. And I just have to give a shout out to the young men. I think that Rocky's story is a great example for our young men who have been so disparaged by the media, the culture, really denigrated, and even in education, my daughter's college, what they said about young white men specifically, just terrible anti-American stuff. And so Rocky is a great example of coming from behind for young men. When I meet young men who are working in the Trump administration, I have to tell you, these Maha young men who are working for RFK Jr., they are so excited and they are exhibiting the strong leadership characteristics that we want to see in our guys. You know, they are dedicated to a purpose and a cause bigger than themselves. And they're in their 20s, every one of them that I've met, but they're really excited about what they're doing. They're getting married younger. They're dedicated husbands. They're following, I would say, what is the instinct for men if they're just allowed to live with their instincts and their godly maleness, you know? So I'm excited about what's happening for young men in the United States.
Exactly. And it's so anti what the leftists want from guys, right? They don't want you to be masculine. They don't want you to be tough. They don't want you to stand for something. They want you to just be kind of, again, sheeple. Just follow what we want you to believe in. And what they want us to believe in is saying it's okay for drag story hour. You know what I mean? So it's a whole messed up system that's on the left side of the aisle there. But Carly, you think about the past 3 elections, right? And we know that the majority of the country voted for President Trump, even in the 2020 election.
Yes. I believe you. Yes, I agree.
You know?
Absolutely. I do not believe that Joe Biden got millions more votes than Barack Obama in his first election, which was historic. I mean, he was swept in with really a mandate and a popularity I had never seen in my lifetime. So yes, I agree with you. I think it was actually, as much as we were disappointed, shocked, horrified, I think it was a God moment because of that 4 years in the wilderness where he and his team could prepare for the next Republican administration. To achieve what he's achieving wouldn't have been possible coming straight into a second term. So as hard as it was for us and for our country, our economy, I mean, the inflation was just gobsmacking. But his achievements are so extraordinary, and the team, because the team was getting ready as well. So it's really, it's been a blessing, you know, in every bad thing, a good thing can come out of it. And that's really a promise, I think, from God.
Amen. I mean, that's Romans 8:28. And we know that all things work together for the good to those that love God and are called according to his purpose. So it's awesome to be able to speak about our faith, our conservative politics, freedom, and all the things, because that's just not something that the mainstream media likes to talk about, as you know. Let's move on and talk about a couple more honorees. Gloria Gaynor, sure. Of course, I believe she sang, right, I Will Survive. How about George Strait with Check Yes or No? I mean, do you prefer country music? Do you like country?
I like all kinds of music. I have a hard time with some rap. I prefer not to hear it, but otherwise I like all kinds of music.
And it's great to have people, I think, in all kinds of genres out there that stand for something, right? I mean, we were talking earlier, you and I, about Dolly Parton, how she doesn't really talk politics, but it's interesting because you do have that huge platform, and not talking really just about Dolly, but let's talk about George Strait or Gloria Gaynor or, you know, Sylvester Stallone. Yeah. It's got to be difficult not to speak about your political beliefs, your personal beliefs, when you have that many people watching. And if you believe in it so much, I know that if I was ever, you know, a famous actor back in the day, it'd be very difficult for me to be like, I'm not going to let you know what I believe we're on this earth for and to do. You know what I mean? So you want to walk us through some of that psychology?
Are you talking about being called to do something?
Well, I'm just saying, like, if you are, you know how we were saying with Dolly, she doesn't want to lose half her audience. We were talking about that. We know how Taylor Swift came out and said what she did and lost a lot of people. But it's got to still be difficult for someone in these kind of situations, famous people, to not do that because, again, they believe in it so much. Your thoughts?
Well, you know, I don't really have an opinion about that. I really do like to be able to enjoy people's artistic performance. And when they come out hard Democrat leftist talking points or even communist kind of talk, it's hard for me to watch. I don't want to watch their material because it's as if I'm feeding that beast. That's how I feel. Like when I started to see the stuff that was coming out from Netflix, I canceled my subscription. I didn't think it was a good thing to have a subscription to a service that was doing bad stuff and spreading, leftist Democrat propaganda, trying to move people toward transgenderism and not believing in God and having a godless society, no intact family, all of the ethos that they're pushing, not having traditional sexual mores, meaning, marriage is good. Marriage between a man and a woman, having children is a good thing. We want to encourage that in society, and all of their propaganda was anti everything that our historical culture has stood for. I think our culture is worth fighting for and preserving and promoting to the next generation. So that's where I'm at with that.
No, and I hear you. And the word boycott is a very strong word because we, the people, the majority of Americans, if you cross a line that we don't like, you could go out of business, and we don't care how big of a company you are. That's true. We've seen things like that happen, even just recently with Cracker Barrel. They were trying to change things, and people are like, no. And we're talking about people from all walks of life are like, no, don't change anything with that. Anyway, there's a number of other points we can make, but ran out of time there. But 4:51, Saturday, December 6th, Carla Sands, thank you so much for joining us. Have fun at that ceremony tomorrow. Please send us any, videos if you see Sylvester Stallone. If you take a selfie with Sylvester, please send it our way.
Sure, I will. Can I just close with two quick hits?
Yeah.
If your viewers are interested in what President Trump is doing to make us more secure, he just published his national security strategy. It is available online. The National Security Strategy of 2025. It just came out about 48 hours ago. And secondly, I wrote an op-ed about 2 weeks ago. It was published in the Daily Caller about the nations first, America first, nations first. It's very similar to the National Security Strategy opening pages. And it's about securing our country and securing our allies so that we actually have a strong alliance and we remain the greatest power in the world, because we can't do it alone. Thanks, Matthew.
Yeah, definitely. On top of that, is there any social media that you'd like to share with people that they can follow you on?
Sure. I'm on X at Carla H. Sands, and a little bit on Facebook and Instagram, not so much. And then I have a website, carlasands.com, and I'm at also americafirstpolicy.com.
Awesome.
Thanks, Matthew.
Thank you, Carla. Have a great day.
Take care.
Thank you. All right, it's 4:52, Saturday, December 6th. Looking live there at the White House as the sun is pretty much set in the sense of sunset. So it's getting darker as you see. So we're going to be live right there at the Oval Office in just a minute. For now, let's take a quick commercial break. My name is Matthew Alvarez. This is RSBN Live. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. You can scan that QR code now, RSBN10. That is the code, easy to remember, for 10% off. This is ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, antibiotics that will save you and yours from bacterial and viral infections, NAD+, and much, much more. 200 essential medications and emergency medical kits, the meds you trust delivered to your door.
Good evening. Welcome back to RSBN Live. I'm Matthew Alvarez. It is 4:55, Saturday, December 6th. In just a few minutes, the president will participate in a Kennedy Center Honors Medal presentation in the Oval Office. So will we see some of these honorees there in the Oval Office? I believe so. So you can stick around for that. As for the next few days, on Tuesday, we know that the president is preparing to travel to Pennsylvania as part of a series of stops to highlight his economic agenda. You can catch the coverage right here on Right Side Broadcasting Network. Meantime, tonight, the Kennedy Center Honors Dinner will preview the 48th Kennedy Center Honors Ceremony, which will be tomorrow night. And we'll celebrate honorees, including Sylvester Stallone, Michael Crawford, Gloria Gaynor, Kiss, and George Strait, for their lifetime contributions to American culture through the performing arts. We're told that the ceremony will be hosted by President Trump. Again, that's tomorrow. Tonight's the dinner. And in just a few minutes will be a medal presentation as well at the Oval Office. So let's go now to the American presidential tenor himself, Christopher Macchio, who was at the Oval Office, just the other day. What was that like to talk to the president about the Kennedy Center?
Well, it was a privilege. Of course, just being in the Oval Office itself was really something special. And I definitely took the opportunity to share some thoughts. And he was really proud to have taken over that institution, especially after learning some of the woke excesses that it had been indulging in. So I'm just so happy to see him and Ambassador Grinnell take that institution over and really subjected to some high standards with respect to not only the artistic programming, but of course also the financial equation. Every act that goes in there, every production needs to really justify itself in terms of from an economic standpoint and show that the public is supportive of that kind of programming through ticket sales. And then, of course, they're able to supplement their budgets with private donations and so forth. But gone are the days of just throwing money at these woke niche projects. And I really applaud Ambassador Grinnell and President Trump for instituting that kind of policy.
And I believe we, the people, applaud you, sir, because you're the one that was at so many events with the president over the past year for a long time, and then just the other night singing at the White House in front of so many people, from Ronaldo to Elon and on. How about the Saudi crown prince, the president, the vice president? If people didn't see that interview, what was it like for you when you're about to walk into the White House, which this is the spot, of course, and that Oval Office as well, the highest office in the land, and you're the one that has to perform in front of all of those people and do it live and do it good. What's that like, man?
It is, there's a certain amount of pressure. I know that I can pull off a vocal performance, even under duress, under certain circumstances. But in this case, there were additional logistical issues involved. The U.S. Marine Band was down the hall in another room completely. And so just kind of coordinating that was an additional challenge. And of course, the acoustics in a cramped room like that. Beautiful room, vermeil, flatware and dinnerware, set out for everybody, all the place settings. But at the end of the day, that event really highlighted just how badly we do need the big, beautiful ballroom. And so even from an acoustic standpoint, as a performer, you want to have the best possible environment. And then just the amount of people that you can fit. We had 119 guests, 30 of which was Saudi. And the president really wants to be north of 1,000 guests for an event like that. And so I think we're going to get there. When I was in the Oval Office, he pointed out to the ballroom under construction, and he said, there's our big, beautiful ballroom, and you're going to be singing the night we open that sucker. And I'm really looking forward to that. So it'll be a real privilege and a great honor.
Yeah, it'd be great. It'd be great to watch that performance live there at the ballroom. And then also, it looks like maybe you'll be singing and performing at the Kennedy Center as well, which would be great. Because I remember watching some of your performances from afar here at Right Side, right? And our cameras would be usually there. Maybe it was in Butler, Pennsylvania, the second time the president returned, or Madison Square Garden, or how about Sterling, Virginia, where the president's Virginia Golf Club is, when you sang with the fireworks. I mean, man, these are epic performances that you had there. So why don't we do this? For those that are watching live right now and you're really interested in it, I'm interested in it. I think it's really cool. Let's check out the video from Christopher Macchio when he sang at the White House just about a week ago. Well, there you go. It's something you don't get to see every day. You were in the East Room of the White House there. Pretty awesome stuff. Your thoughts once again about that performance?
Surreal being in front of all of the top CEOs and in front of His Royal Highness the Crown Prince and our President and First Lady as our gracious host for the evening, First Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Just all hands on deck for a fantastic evening. And again, it was just a real privilege to be a part of history. There aren't a lot of state dinners that take place, especially under President Trump, with all that he has to contend with to make America great again. So, again, it was a really great honor.
Yeah, it was a great performance. I'm glad we can get that video exclusively from your agent. Let's also talk about some of these honorees that we may see in the Oval Office in just a minute. And if you're just watching us right now, this is Christopher Macchio, the American presidential tenor. You may have seen him perform at many of President Trump's events and, of course, rallies and that kind of thing. And for those of you joining us, of course, there's a number of serious news topics to talk about. We might dive into that with Christopher. We've done that before. But in the meantime, of course, it's a Saturday, December 6th. We're talking about the Kennedy Center. And these events that are happening tonight and tomorrow, some of the honorees include Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, Kiss, Michael Crawford, George Strait. Michael, let's go with you. Christopher, let's go with you in the sense of your thoughts about one of those honorees, and then we can go from there.
Well, honestly, I'm big fans of all of them. I can't think off the top of my head of a better list of people that President Trump could have chosen to honor in this way. Last year I was really happy to see Sylvester Stallone at a gala at Mar-a-Lago that I performed at, and that was, just to have his support is great. And of course, you have your John Voights and Kevin Sorbos as well. And the rest of the artists, same thing. Gloria Gaynor, just unbelievable. George Strait. If I had to sing one country song as a trained opera singer, well, excuse me, but I think you got my chair, So I'm a big fan of George Strait. So I think President Trump hit a home run with this class of Kennedy Center honorees. And I'm sure that they're all going to appreciate having the opportunity to be greeted by him in the Oval Office. I was there myself last week, as I said, and just that was a tremendous honor. He pointed out a lot of the very historic things and was gracious enough to sign a couple of things for me. I got to keep the pen that he used, but I even saw the Diet Coke. The little drawer on the right side of the desk was left open, and there was a little Diet Coke, with the ice already ready to go.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you. I was going to ask you, is there ice in there? I was like, does he drink?
There was
warm?
ice.
Yeah.
It must have been.
It
must have been recently served because the ice hadn't melted.
Wow.
The president wasn't in there when we first entered, and so we just saw the Resolute desk, and there it was, the Diet Coke. So it's those little details that kind of stick out in your mind. And then of course all of the beautification that he has effectuated in that space with the gilded ceiling and all of the additional detail work, really kind of making it a little bit more Mar-a-Lago-esque in its grandeur. And I think that that's an important architectural thing for him to do, not just in the Oval Office, but throughout the White House. And then of course in the future with our big, beautiful ballroom.
Yeah, exactly. And, I think yesterday I saw on X that the words the West Wing are in gold now and in cursive. And then
Wow.
Same thing with the Oval Office. So I don't know specifically where that is, but I saw it. I believe it was Margot Martin's X account, of course, White House staffer there. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that he's made a home, and we of course want more and more wins to happen. There's a lot that we the people want out there. There's a lot that I want. It's the same stuff pretty much, right? Securing our elections. It's holding people accountable that have broken the law, and other things. But right now we see that.
And of course, drug interdiction. So it's really heartening to see that our military is now being given the opportunity to make substantive contributions in the interdiction of drugs and narco-terrorism in our hemisphere. So I'm really glad to see that.
Yeah, on top of that, I mean, you think about some of these drug cartels, they're in Mexico. Some of them, I remember reporting on this, are in Canada as well. It's a bad situation, but we know that day one, the president closed that border. And we are seeing in Arizona the border wall getting built. So there's a number of things to work on. So 2026, and I know we're not there yet, but it's going to be a huge year, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You've got America 250, and, I hope to play a substantial role in from a musical standpoint for America 250, and they'll be doing some events also at the Kennedy Center. I had a great meeting this week with Ambassador Grinnell over there, and again, he pointed out, what the parameters were. And so we're going to make sure we adhere to those for some effective, very compelling programming. And so I'll be kind of getting the ball rolling by making some guest appearances at events that have already been scheduled and funded. And then we're going to take it from there and create some really, really powerful stuff. But next year is really just such a wonderful, glorious opportunity to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this great nation. And there's nobody that any of us could have asked for to be in office better to rise to this occasion and highlight it the way it deserves to be highlighted as President Trump. So we're really grateful, all of us, for that.
100%. I mean, just imagine Harris being the president and trying to deliver a speech when our when our country turns 250. She's not 1776. You know what I mean? In the sense of constitutional republic.
In any sense.
In any sense. She just doesn't get it.
there would have been qualifiers, and there would have been, while we celebrate this, we also have to be mindful of X, Y, and Z and how we've never lived up to. I mean, it would have been disclaimers and qualifiers all the way through, as opposed to just taking a moment and recognizing that we have been and continue to be the foremost beacon of freedom and truth throughout the entire world.
Exactly.
And of course, no government, no system is perfect, but ours has been and will continue to be the best. And we're all very proud and very grateful for that fact.
Exactly. I'm glad we're not hearing Harris talk about what's unburdened from here or whatever she said. You remember all that? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We should be unburdened by what has been. Oh, I see. I see. Let's just throw out, a couple of millennia of, Western civilization, providing the platform that the world enjoys now, and try to reinvent the wheel. And it's absurd, of course, on its face, and we reject that. Of course, the American people, on a record voting basis, rejected that resoundingly last election. And I think you're seeing around the world now, the world is rejecting that, this kind of revisionism, this kind of second guessing of the civilization that has really sustained prosperity and peace throughout the world to the greatest extent over any and all others.
Well, we're seeing that in places like England and Ireland, where the people themselves are saying, whoa, 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 this is way too far with the woke ideology. This is way too far with the mass migration. This is not our country anymore. And not only that, you can't illegally go into a country. But guess what? Some leaders act like you shouldn't do that. But secretly, they're like, they're publicly, hey, don't come in here illegally. And then over here, they're like, I can't wait for them to come in. You know what I mean?
Right. Unfortunately, this is what you've seen over the last 10, 15, 20 years. And it's, a ticking time bomb, demographically speaking. And we're just, it's not about being exclusionary, and it's not about discrimination. It's about celebrating and continuing to adhere to the essential nature of ourselves and of all of the different nations that constitute Western civilization. We have to celebrate that and protect that, just as any other nation would be well within their rights to preserve this essential integrity of their culture and civilization. We should, on a positive basis, reaffirm and do the same for ours. And that, I think, is now the trend that we are going to see going forward. And I think we have a lot, I think we have President Trump to, thank for that to a large extent.
Yeah, I mean, he did so much in that first administration, and then coming into the second administration, just going against the system. That's why we voted for him. And we're looking forward to even more and more and more positive things that we, the people, want. As it's 5:12 Eastern. Again, this is Christopher Macchio for just joining us. He is the American presidential tenor, sang for President Trump a million times, and probably will sing a lot more as well into the future. Great performer.
God willing.
Amen, right? We have to end on a lighter note, because it is a Saturday. This is an event about these honorees like Sylvester Stallone and others. So let's go there quick before I let you go. Favorite movie with Sylvester Stallone?
Oh my God. Well, there are so many great ones, but Rocky, the quintessential American story where hard work and determination truly do pay off in the end. I think that's just a special, special movie. And, it made him an American icon and an American hero. And so that's one of the reasons we love him so much.
Exactly. There's some pretty cool documentaries out there about Sylvester. I think one of them is called Sly that I saw, a few months back. And it's great because in that doc, it really let him just let his hair down and just talk about everything from day one to all the struggle, to everything. It was a really good documentary. My favorite Rocky, though, is Rocky IV. Do you have a favorite?
Ooh, you know what? That's the one that always comes to mind, I think. That's with the Russian and, I will break you. And, it's really, I think that was probably the one that you really, really was, I guess, the apex of that whole franchise. And so, yeah, that's probably my favorite one too.
Yeah. So let's move on. Michael Crawford, of course, with Phantom of the Opera. Did you ever get to see Phantom in New York?
I did. I didn't see Crawford, who, of course, is part of the original cast. He created that role, such an iconic role. And so, yeah, he's really absolutely deserving of this high honor. Of course, President Trump loves Phantom of the Opera, loves Andrew Lloyd Webber. And that's why I almost always include that in my programming. I do All I Ask of You from Phantom of the Opera. I did it for the Saudi Prince when we had that dinner the other week. And so I'm really excited to see Michael being recognized in this way. He more than deserves it.
And then Gloria Gaynor, a song that I won't try and have you sing, I Will Survive, because if you're just joining us, Christopher sang.
I could, but I won't.
It'd be very interesting, because I know for those of you just joining us, he sang a little bit of a George Strait song, which I'm still going to ask him to do a little bit more of that in a second, because this guy's good. If you've watched any of his performances, he's good. So anyway, yeah, Gloria Gaynor with I Will Survive. Let's move to
Absolutely.
Kiss as well. Have you ever seen Kiss in concert, or is that your style of music at all?
Well, it's not really my my genre, obviously. I haven't put that amount of paint on for a performance, at least publicly. Actually, pretty close. I did Canio for Pagliacci, so you do put clown makeup on for that. But I just love the fact that Gene Simmons has been so supportive of our president, and so Kid. I mean, they're legendary group. So yeah. But I am a fan.
No,
I just don't perform that stuff, but I'm a big fan.
I couldn't imagine you in that. No, it's just not going to work.
And my tongue doesn't go out that far.
Hey,
I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, you're the one that went there, man. You're the one that went there. It's all good. All right, let's talk about, and then I believe finally the honoree, George Strait. People call him the king of country. I would have loved to see a concert in Dallas, Texas, at the old Texas Stadium. I mean, come on now. He's the traditional cowboy, but also great songs. And I love country music. I love a lot of music out there. If you're talented and it's a good performance, I think that's the thing. It really is really just about that, in my opinion, for me. I just love.
Yeah, it's about talent. And it's about merit, and also an important component, in my opinion, is values. I mean, you could be talented, but if you put those talents to use for the wrong reasons and you're putting the wrong messages out there, particularly towards our youth, I think that can be an issue. And so it's really nice to see someone recognized like George Strait, who has put positive messages out there. And I think he and his music serve as a positive example for people and our citizens, and particularly our youth. So I hope that this exposure, that this recognition gives our young people an additional opportunity to familiarize themselves with the catalog, with the songbooks of George Strait, and really get back into that kind of wholesome country music before it kind of went off in that pop direction. I think George is another American icon, so we're really proud of him.
100%. I mean, I like traditional country. I mean, I remember a few people way back in the day, Roy Acuff with Wabash Cannonball. Now, this is something that I learned because I worked in Nashville.
Wow.
So he was bluegrass into country. He was like one of the first guys. So, Waylon Jennings, and then even these days with Luke Bryan and many other people out there. I like all country music, whether it's the so-called bro country or whatever. But Alan Jackson, I've seen Alan Jackson perform at his bar in Nashville one time. I remember I was out with some people there in Nashville, and he was performing at the Ryman Auditorium. The tour bus comes right down to Lower Broadway, and here comes Alan Jackson, walks into his bar, sits right there, starts singing all of his hit songs, and I'm From Here to You. And I'm like, okay, this is
Wow.
pretty cool stuff. So anyway,
That's
George,
very cool.
isn't it? It's cool, right? But let's go with
I would love the opportunity to perform on stage with George Strait. That would be really special. I did perform at Carnegie Hall with Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers, but George Strait would be a real pleasure as well.
It would be. And for those that missed it, that just joined us, I mean, if you want to, the stage is yours right now on TV. What was the song you were singing before from George?
Oh boy. Well, excuse me, but I think you've got my chair. That's the chair.
There you
It's one
go.
of those classic
Yeah.
George Strait tracks, and then you got All My Exes Live in Texas and all kinds of
Oh, that's a
great,
great one.
colorful
All my
stuff.
exes live in Texas. That's great. Christopher, listen, get a cowboy hat, get the guitar. Come on now, mix it up a little bit,
I,
no?
I do have a beautiful pair of Lucchese crocodile, and I'm sorry, alligator cowboy boots.
Those are
So
expensive.
yeah. Well,
Those are
I knew
expensive. I know because the Gulch, which is getting really hyper local with Nashville, I go into Lucchese, this boot shop, just want to check it out. And I see, let's see, I'm trying to remember the name, Cole Swindell. So Cole Swindell, the country
Okay.
artist, he's in there, he's buying some boots. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm this guy that's born in Pennsylvania, you know what I mean? I've used to work in New York and all that. And now I'm in
Right.
Nashville. Now I'm down here in Alabama. I love all of it, by the way. I mean, it's just great to be in different parts of the country. But anyway, so yeah,
Absolutely.
but the Lucchese boots, man, those are pricey boots. But you got some nice
Well, I
boots there,
do.
man.
I do some really some events that are on the higher end in Texas, galas and different VIP performing arts center type stuff. And so I figured if I'm gonna get cowboy boots, I've got to get
The top
something
stuff.
close to the best. So
Well, I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah.
you're performing
So
in front of, let's be real, at the White House the other day, performing in front of the Saudi crown prince and Elon Musk and
yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo and the president, the leader of the free world. So yeah, no problem. No shade on
you've
buying
gotta.
expensive boots, man.
Yeah. It's just funny being an Italian from New York, and I've got my Armani suit on, and I've got my Lucchese boots. I've got like ZZ Top Sharp Dressed Man soundtrack playing in my head.
That's awesome.
But it's a lot of fun. It's
And
really a lot of
for
fun.
those that are looking at us and saying, "Hey, they're having too much fun on the air," okay, we hear you. But let's go with New York City, though. You're from Long Island. You got this Mamdani
Yes.
character in there in the city. That's not good, man. It's not good.
No, no. I will give credit to our president that he brought Mamdani into the Oval Office and tried to reach some kind of understanding, or at least open some productive lines of communication. And he even rescued him on that fascism question. So he was more than magnanimous. And I think that's all we can expect him to do. We'll see what the policies end up being from Mayor-elect Mamdani. And hopefully it will kind of be a brief 4-year period where he just plays nice and does what President Trump might recommend for him to do to the greatest extent possible. Hopefully incentivized by the manipulation of some levers at the disposal of the administration when needed. And at the end of the day, like they said in the Oval Office, I think hopefully the best interest of the New Yorkers will be served. But I have every confidence that to the extent, if and when Mayor Mamdani does not serve the interests of New Yorkers, that President Trump will be more than willing to step in on behalf of the citizens of his native city and make sure that we're not subjected to some of these leftist communist excesses that some of his campaign pledges might otherwise indicate. So I feel protected from the White House and from Washington on behalf of by President Trump. So that's I'm clinging to that. As we head into the new year, January 2nd, I think he gets maybe the first. Yeah, New Year's Day he gets sworn in. So we'll see what happens. I'm sure there'll be some performative leftism, but when it comes to the substance of it, I hope that the threat President Trump coming down on him like a ton of bricks, keeps everything in line and protects New Yorkers like myself.
National Guard, maybe. Who knows? Hopefully it doesn't get to that point, but,
I'm all for it. If they want to station a couple of soldiers in front of my building, I'm not, that'll be a great thing. I would love it.
Yeah, no, I've seen that kind of thing. I know you have too, the subways or wherever. You see some people that are not just NYPD. You see full-on military-looking type. I guess it's because it's NYPD, more of a tactical unit of sorts, or anti-terrorism unit or whatever.
Right.
So New York's such a place. I remember going there, watching the ball drop. I forget which year. It may have been 2012. I was working in New York between 2010 and 2014. And I was standing right near where the ball drops, and there's a SWAT vehicle, and there's these guys, they're all full on, full military garb. I'm like, well, at least I'm here. I want to stand right here next to these guys during an event like Times Square, right? But
100%.
You know what I mean? I mean, law and order. We like it. We the people love law and order, right?
No, there's nothing like it. One of the things that strikes me sometimes is you go to foreign cities and you think, where are the police? If all of a sudden one of these migrants that are wandering the streets of this European capital decide to do something, what's my recourse exactly? At least in New York, you feel like there's always a cop not too far away. I don't know what I would do in one of these other scenarios, certain neighborhoods, and you really can't go too far from your 5-star hotel in some of these cities. Otherwise, you're really rolling the dice. So, there are no-go zones where the police won't even go in places like Paris. So it's really feels a lot better to see that kind of police presence and National Guard presence. I'm just going to have to stock up on my challenge coins, just to be able to do the right thing when I encounter, our servicemen and women.
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's pretty cool to see President Trump handing those out. It'd be great to have one of these days. But the point, too.
I got one.
I know. I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. You were just at the Oval Office. I also heard.
That was great.
I also heard. And I don't do gossip journalism. It's not even a big deal. It's a joke kind of right now that you have a White House umbrella.
Oh my God! Yeah. In fact, I own my. Yeah. That is true. And I guess maybe it's frowned upon.
I don't know if it's frowned upon. I don't know.
I don't know. The staff was, but we were. Yeah. But we ended up. I do have an umbrella that says "President of the United States" on it. That's all I'll say about that. But yeah, that was great. That was really great. Just being in the whole the West Wing, I went past the Hall of Fame, the Hall of where they have all the portraits. I made sure to take my selfie in front of the last president, which of course consisted of the auto pen. So, but yeah, it's these little things that really stick out in your mind. Those little details. So yeah, I'll definitely be holding on to that presidential umbrella.
Thank you,
sure.
Christopher. Let's go to President Trump. Thank you again, Christopher.
And I've been a fan of all of them, and it's been a real honor to get to know them during this little period of time. This is a group of icons whose work and accomplishments have inspired, uplifted, and unified millions and millions of Americans. This is perhaps the most accomplished and renowned class of Kennedy Center honorees ever assembled. We have country music legend George. Got it? Turned off. Got it? We have country music legend George Strait. George, thank you very much. Let me do this right now, George. I think if you want to leave it on, you can. I think we can get it through. Okay. Oh, he's got good hair.
A little bit.
I'm surprised. Sometimes I take it off and there's not a lot.
There's not a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a great star of Broadway. I've seen the show many times and other shows of his, Michael Crawford. Michael. Thank you. Thank you, Michael. Let me do that. Very good. Thank you, Michael. Congratulations. Thank you. Beautiful. We have the disco queen, and she was indeed. And nobody did it like Gloria Gaynor. Gloria, thank you very much. Oh, that's a good head of hair. That's beautiful. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you. Thank you, darling. A friend of mine, a wonderful person, a spectacular person, one of the true great movie stars. There aren't many. There used to be a lot. There aren't many now. But he's one of the great legends and had some of the greatest movies ever, including the top grossing movies ever. Sylvester Sly Stallone. Sly. Thank you. Proud of you. This is great, Sly. It's an honor.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Should I
Thank
go
you.
over here?
Yeah, sounds good. Thank you, Sly. And the members of the incredible rock band Kiss, Paul Stanley, Gene Simmons, Peter Criss, and Ace Frehley, who now is resting in peace, and his beautiful daughter is here to accept the award. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. That's pretty good stuff, huh? Let me turn that around. Thank you. That's great. My friend for a long time.
Thank you, Mr.
That's good. Thank you very much. My friend for a long time. Okay, that's good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
It's an honor.
And I think your father would be very happy to have you wear this, okay? Thank you very much. He's a great guy. Thank you very much. Those are great people. In a few moments, we will be presenting these stars with their Kennedy Center honors medallions, which were redesigned this year with the help of the fantastic team at Tiffany and Company, and I want to congratulate them. They have done a fantastic job. They're wonderful people. I know them very well because they're right next to Trump Tower. I've lived with them for many years, and they really have done a great job. So I want to thank Tiffany. Thank you very much. We're also joined by members of the Kennedy Center Board of Trustees who are doing a really great job. And as you know, the building is being renovated, fully renovated. It's being I would say fixed at a level that nobody's ever seen before. We're going to make it something really special. It's been tired. It's been mistreated, a little bit like the White House has been mistreated, to be honest with you. And we're bringing it back to a level that I don't think any place in the country will see. We were given quite a bit of money by Congress to do the job, and we're doing it right. And you'll see the new marble and the renovated marble and all of the different rooms, major auditoriums. The sound is so fantastic. One of the very big prerequisites and something that doesn't happen often is when you have great sound, you take advantage of it. And the Kennedy Center has great, great sound. If they build it, fellas, you know this. Gloria, you would know it very well. George, you'd know it very well. Oh, Michael would know it so well. But if it's built with bad sound, you never get it fixed, right? It just doesn't work. They've tried very hard at Lincoln Center and other places and hasn't worked out too well. But I just want to thank the executive director, Rick Grinnell. Rick, thank you very much. Thank you, Rick. Ambassador Sergio Gore, ambassador to India. Thank you, Sergio. Great job. And other friends and distinguished guests, Mr. and Mrs. Ike Perlmutter. So many people are here that are great friends. Mrs. Fisher, thank you very much. Very much. We have some unbelievable people on the board, the most prestigious board, I think, now maybe in Washington. From Newark, New Jersey to Poteet, Texas, from New York City to as far away as London. These are among the greatest artists, actors, and performers of their generation, the greatest that we've seen. We can hardly imagine the country music phenomena without its king of country, or the American disco without its first lady, or Broadway without its phantom. And that was a phantom, let me tell you. Or rock and roll without its hottest band in the world, and that's what they are. Or Hollywood without one of its greatest visionaries. Each of you has made an indelible mark on American life, and together you have defined entire genres and set new standards for the performing arts. You have set new standards. On behalf of every American who has been inspired by the unbelievable talent of Michael Crawford, who has been influenced by the music of George Strait or Gloria Gaynor or Kiss, or who has been moved by Sylvester Stallone's unmatched heart and talent and grit, because nobody played that role, and nobody will ever play that role like Sly. We want to thank you all. We want to thank you all. Really tremendous. Thank you. Thank you. So we're going to have a good time tonight. I look forward to celebrating with all of you at the Kennedy Center tomorrow. And it's going to be something that I believe, and I'm going to make a prediction, this will be the highest rated show that they've ever done. And they've gotten some pretty good ratings, but there's nothing like what's going to happen tomorrow night. So I just want to thank you all. I want to congratulate you all. And I want to thank the media. They've treated this with such great respect. We very much appreciate it. Now we're going to go to the State Department with Secretary of State Rubio and have a special event, something which was never done before, but we never had a president hosting the awards before. This is the first. I'm sure they'll give me great reviews, right? You know, they'll say he was horrible. He was terrible. It was a horrible situation. No, we'll do fine. I've watched some of the people that host. Jimmy Kimmel was horrible. Some of these people, if I can't beat out Jimmy Kimmel in terms of talent, then I don't think I should be president. But I want to just thank you all, because this is a special night, and I think you're going to see that at the end of this evening, and by the end of these 2 days, you're going to say this is one of the most special days in your life. And I think a few of you have already told me it already was. So thank you all very much. Congratulations, and we'll see you in a couple of minutes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, media. Thank you very much. Please. Thank you very much.
All right, that was the live footage there inside the Oval Office. The president in the tuxedo on his way to a honors dinner at the Kennedy Center. This is going to preview the 48th Kennedy Center Honors Ceremony, which will be tomorrow night, and will celebrate honorees, including, as you saw there, Sylvester Stallone, Michael Crawford, Gloria Gaynor, Kiss, and George Strait for their lifetime contributions to American culture through the performing arts. The ceremony will be hosted, as you just heard, by President Donald J. Trump. That is history right there from a entertainment, arts, and culture aspect. So we'll see that tomorrow. It is on one of the networks tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching here at Right Side Broadcasting Network. Of course, let's go to a couple things here, including if you'd like to donate to Right Side, all you have to do is text RSBN to 801-801 or go to rsbnetwork.com/donate. Thank you guys so much for streaming in, those that are watching live or those that are watching, of course, on replay. Thank you so much for doing so. My name is Matthew Alvarez. This is RSBN Live on the weekend. We'll see you soon.
Welcome to Right Side Broadcasting Network, your trusted conservative news outlet. At RSBN, we deliver the truth when the mainstream media falls short. Since 2015, we've proudly broadcasted every single one of President Trump's iconic MAGA rallies, bringing you the excitement and energy live before anyone else. By watching RSBN, you get an unfiltered front row view of the action on the ground. We interview the crowds to give a voice to millions of Americans just like you. We show you President Trump's speeches in their entirety, free from interruptions and censorship. We cover the stories that matter to you with the integrity and passion you deserve. Thank you for choosing RSBN as your home for America First News. Together, we stand strong, united, and informed. So join us and be part of the right side of history.
Hey y'all, it's Silk from the Diamond and Silk Chit Chat live show. Look, don't forget to check me out right here on RSBN Network. Be sure to watch the show on Right Side Broadcasting Network, and I want you to support Right Side Broadcasting Network. Yes, it's imperative that you do so, okay? I look to see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
allfamilypharmacy.com/RSBN. You can scan that QR code now, RSBN10. That is the code, easy to remember, for 10% off. This is ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, antibiotics that will save you and yours from bacterial and viral infections, NAD+, and much, much more. 200 essential medications and emergency medical kits, the meds you trust delivered to your door.